This is the truth behind the beef between Eminem and Pacewon. Now, Pacewon is known throughout the Brick City. We talking during the Red Man era. Like, these dudes used to spit. You know, like the Bricks had dudes that used to go for it. And they had the outsider, they had Raw Digger, they had everybody connected in a circle that was raw. Even back then, that would just link up and spit. And Eminem was trying to get a record deal, but he figured that it'd be best to go in a group. He could probably get signed in a group more than he could individually. But when he went out there and saw these guys, and he was like, man, I'm going to go out to Jersey. And they took a trip, put up all their money, and went on the road with these dudes and hooked up with Pace and the rest of them outsiders from rapping in the club. And it was like, these dudes are ill. Like, the words they using is different. The way they delivery is. And all of them is ill. Because they use different type of syllable structures. The same syllable structures that Eminem used today. And used to get rich. Use black music so selfishly and use it to get myself wealthy. Yay! That's a concept that works. So yeah, I mean, most of all his, not to say M can't rap. M could rap. He just wasn't as good as these guys when he met them. And hanging around these guys, he got better. It's like starting off at a job that you know how to do the job, but it's people that's been doing the job a little bit longer than you, a little bit more polished. And you learn on the job, so you get better. Not to say there's anything wrong with it, but here's the thing. You come into the outsiders, they vouch for you. Young Z brought you in and said, yo, this dude's ill. You know, this dude can spit and this and that. You got jumped and beat up and at the club for trying to spit. And they was like, who is this white boy trying to spit? Up in the club and then in the cypher. While he was performing on stage, and you get in a fight with the PMB squad. And then you get punched in the face. And they start kicking you, some little shorties. And then you balled up and your own boys didn't even help you. They came in there and started throwing shorties everywhere. Pace and them did. And I was, trying to think, who was the crew, the rappers that they had there? What is it, Macy? Some dude named Macy or something, I don't know. Some little dudes, knuckleheads, they ain't go nowhere. But I guess they was losing the battle to him and decided to punch him in the face. So that's the level of disrespect they felt, and they just start stomping them out. And they were the ones to help you out. And then you used to sleep, like they had the outhouse, what they used to call, that they used to stay. Eminem used to come there, used to sleep on their floor. And they'd be in there rapping 24 hours a day, just coming up with rhymes. You know, chilling and doing all this stuff. You know, this is what they did. It was Bizarre, him, all them other dudes that he came with. Then they went back to the crib. He recorded some songs with the Outsiders. And he went back to the crib and started working on trying to get his deal. But the thing is when he got his deal, he ain't try to come back for his boys. You know, like they were like his crew and his identity. People in New York, it's like, oh, Eminem, yeah, he did some joints with the Outsiders. The Outsiders already had respect. So now you can go to certain spots, hip-hop places, and perform and be looked at with legitimacy. And people don't understand those vouchers are important. And you trying to grow your career as an artist to be in another area you not from, You from the Midwest and you somewhere else and somebody vouch for you and give you that green light to go there and do what you do, that's not easy. You know, you just can't bounce up and be like, I'm going to this club. It's just not like that. You got to watch your surroundings. You got to know where you at. And, you know, it's hard out here. Somebody's waiting for somebody to get attacked. So, anyway, him decided in his best interest, because he had Pace out there, he would shout out the Outsiders on his, while he was doing his Slim Shady and Infinite CD. The Infinite CD, that's why he had some of those songs before he ever met the Outsiders on the Infinite CD. Listen to Infinite, and then listen to the Slim Shady LP. It's starting to change a little bit. And then you see the word patterns are changing, the syllables. And then he's shouting out Pace and everybody else on the songs. On the whole, then, you know, they blended that EP and made it an LP. So now it's extended songs and some songs that's constructed with Dr. Dre. And he never mentions any of the Outsiders. Second CD come out, blow up, nothing. But when he was doing the first thing, when he dyed his hair blonde, he had Pace out there with him, had Pace sleeping on his couch and doing all that stuff when he came in, and everything was cool, and all of a sudden it was done. You know, he just cut him off like a limb. He cut the Outsiders off, and they thinking like, we gonna blow up, but he took D12, the guys from his hood, which is cool. It's alright. Not saying don't take D12, but he took D12. Yeah, they was his boys from them, but D12 ain't gonna get you vouched nowhere. They did nothing for your credibility. You doing for them. They gonna give you credibility in your own hood. But as far as the rap world, don't nobody know them. So for your East Coast credibility, the Outsiders, the Outs, gave you that. So you're not helping them do anything. And all you could do was make a call. And be like, yo, this Eminem, I want this to happen for them. Yo, how big would that be if Eminem walked the Outsiders into Aftermath? If he walked the Outsiders to any other label and said, yo, I'm up here on a song with them, so I do it, I jump on a video with them, whatever it takes, these my guys. You ain't even got to give them money. You see what I'm saying? You ain't even have to give them money. You could have just gave them the opportunity. And you was in a position to do that. And you didn't. And it's like, man, you went back and got the Slaughterhouse, and you didn't even go back, and you went and got back all these dudes, and you ain't even think about getting Young Z, who's way better than half of them dudes that you grabbed. You didn't grab Pace One, who's half better than all them dudes you grabbed. It was like really disrespectful. So I see why Pace One let off those songs. He let off those songs because he had love for him. You know, like, this is my brother, and they vouched for him. And even Young Z on his song, Dear Slim Shady, he's not dissing Slim Shady. He's more like, I'm just like, man, what I do for you, I still got love for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm never gonna diss you on that level, so why are we even talking about it? Now, what happened after that became even more of a no, I wouldn't say a situation, just a bizarre moment. Cause Pace hit the studio hard and was like, "No, I'm dissing homie." And Pace started dropping these songs, and he dropped about 2-3 records, but only one stood out, and one really hurt. All the other ones, the rap music, Eminem diss, that's the one that stands out. The other ones was subpar. Rap music one, that one stood out. That one hit a nerve. And once that came out, yeah, that's what time was. So when rap music came out, oh, it was done. And a lot of people thought Big Weenie was a diss towards Pac One, because Eminem dropped a lot of subliminal stuff in his rhymes, but y'all wouldn't know because, you know, y'all don't listen to lyrics anymore. Y'all just listen to the beat. That beat go hard. That's all y'all know. So nobody really listens to lyrics anymore. And there's plenty of people Eminem was dissing that y'all didn't even know in his songs. And this was after the encore. But on encore, he was kind of throwing a shot at them with the Big Weenie. The big meanie, you're just a big meanie, you're just jealous of me because of whatever thing, because you're just a big meanie. So, but he didn't want to engage into any situation that was involved in Pace One. Him like dissing Pace One and mentioning his name in a diss. So Pace One had a song with the beat that they had from a long time ago. It's called I Declare War. And that beat was tight. Like everybody was like feeling it. And that was like an old track that they had. But he put out I Declare War, and that was like a good underground burner. But Eminem, being the type of guy he is, he sends 50 Cent and G Unit to diss Pace One. And once I heard them on the song, I'm just like, wow, him would stoop to this level to have G Unit diss Pace One. And that basically did it. Like, Pace couldn't get anything really going after that. And, you know, the industry came down on Pace. And M really felt hurt because he know in his heart of hearts, these are his guys. Like, these are, everything they saying is true about him. And on Fine Line, he finally mentions the Outsiders again. And shouts out to Young Z and saying, Pace One, I love you too, and giving Pace his proper due. You know, and Pace made a tribute song to Slim Shady called The Shady Corp. Y'all could probably see that on YouTube and check that out. It's a nice song. So it's like he's finally gonna probably reach back out and make things right with the Outsiders. You know, and that's all that needed to be done on that level. I mean, it really shouldn't even have come this far. There's a lot of people that said that M dipped him dirty and but naturally it wasn't in his core nature to do that. Because he knew where he came from. It's not like he was a guy that was like, man, I walked in and he had an opportunity. He had to go through hell. He's a white guy in a 99% African American dominated business. And the first guy that did come in and make it, they booted him right on out. So here's the next one, and he did it with work, and that's what you do. You put out the music, and if it's dope, people accept it. But once he got put on a plateau, things started changing, and he wasn't the same no more. He couldn't control anything, and he lost his identity for a minute. But it was good to hear him give proper due back to Pace. So, y'all want to hear too, and everybody gonna think, oh, you dissing Eminem or you dissing such and such. It's not a diss. Everybody back cool. This is actually like a therapy. Because most of my beefs that I do, most of them, they all link back up at the end of them. Which is like, yeah, they back cool and this and that. And if you want to get an example of what I'm talking about, look up the outside of the song, Nightlife. Okay, this Eminem is on that one. Listen to that song, Nightlife. And when you listen to Nightlife, the first person come on, something gonna trigger your brain to say, man, this sound familiar. That sound like Eminem. That's not Eminem rapping. Okay? Eminem's on that song, but that's not him rapping. But it's something in your brain is gonna click like this is. I heard this before. When you're gonna be like, I've never heard the song. Why was it so familiar to me? You're so familiar because of the rhyme pattern, the syllable pattern is gonna trigger something in your brain to remember something. It sounds very familiar to what you heard before. And then you listen to Eminem verse on there, and you can see he was kind of raw at that time, but he was getting better and all this stuff. So, and then by the time you see him now with the Marshall Mathers LP and all that stuff, that's basically outside of flow. That whole style, the syllable, the wordplay. So, any rapper out there listening to this, they know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't even got to explain nothing, but this is just for the fans so they would know. Remember to follow the playlist, The Truth Behind Hip Hop Beefs. I got another one, the top 5 in hip hop. We're going to do that, top 5 hip hops. And don't think I forgot, I'm going to come back with more top 5s. I just been busy doing everything else. So, I'm out.